measuring your SDRs at the frontline level to effectiveness. So these quality connects. Why do you think people don't do this? Andrew, like, why do you think that organizations struggle? It's like, I feel like leaders just can't stop themselves. They're like, they can't stop themselves from doing these contests that are like, okay, we're behind on numbers. So let's, go to 800 activities this week. Like, why can't we start to focus on, 2 and 3 here? Like, why do you feel like no matter what, we cannot get out of our way from tracking activity for everybody, the exact same, no matter if someone's performing or not?
Yeah, yeah, I've been Jake, I've been trying to answer this question since I think 2019. I think you've been talking about this since 2019, and
Yes.
I worked on it in my previous roles, and I realized that I think it's really important to break it down, where we're doing this webinar here, and like everyone can have a conversation if you're an SDR leader with your leadership, with your boss, if it's the VP of sales, the VP of marketing, and it's really important to align and make sure you're getting on the same page. You're focusing on what matters. I'm not gonna. I don't think you're gonna run into a lot of resistance if you're trying to simplify your business, especially if you're talking to the CFO and the CEO and keeping it simple, and then define what these four metrics are for your business and get as mentioned alignment with the key stakeholders, and then you need to benchmark and roll out those definitions to your team, enforce them to complete the activities, and then benchmark your current state and track it month over month. We have a couple of visuals later on in the presentation with some sample data. And what I've realized is that, yeah, I didn't do the alignment and I didn't get buy-in from the leadership team. And so I never was able to drive adoption. And that quality connect, the other answer, Jake, is that outreach or sales loft or a lot of all of the tools, they don't have a really easy way to track quality connect unless it's with an answered phone call. And what's
Hmm.
interesting is like it's hard to track or to capture a LinkedIn activity as a quality connect. And what I realized is that you want to measure what matters and focus on what matters. And if we're looking at an enterprise motion and the objective is to get 20 quality connects a week, that is just 4 a day. And an SDR can log those 4 manual LinkedIn touch points at the
Exactly.
end of their day or the next morning. I've worked with some clients where we'll actually add a phone disposition and outreach, which is called
Exactly.
LinkedIn Quality Connect, and just have the team do it. Now, I've, you know, where I've run into challenges is if you skip the align and define part and get the adoption or get the buy-in from your leadership team as to here's what we're going to do, here's how we're going to measure it. Um, then if you're just telling your reps to do it, some of them are going to do it, some of them aren't. What we have here with this sample breakdown, it's a little bit hard to read, but what we can look at here is your daily team averages for the number of calls, the number of quality connects per day, the number of completed meetings per day, and then lastly but not least, it's not a surprise that it's in green. That's the pipeline that is contributed, and that's on a per rep basis. You're able to look at, for an SDR leader, all of the ramped reps on your team, and you can even break it down by the number of working days in a month, and you're able to track. I think there's another slide, or I think there's another visual that you can track your progression of the number of calls per month, the number of quality connects per day. Excuse me, the number of calls per day on average, the number of quality connects per day, and then the number of completed meetings per day. You're going to get your benchmark at month 0 or the previous 3 months, and then you want to track that it's going up on a per rep basis. So this is sample data here. There's actually a spreadsheet, and we can share the spreadsheet model with everyone on this.
Yeah,
And
let's do that.
and
Let's
they're
share
yeah
that in there.
they're more than welcome to do that. Jake, I'm going to share it. I'm not able to comment to the whole group, but I'm going to send it to you in the private chat in StreamYard. And
Cool.
spreadsheet model is called Key SDR metrics, template, and instructions. There's instructions on there. I recorded a 5-minute vidyard taking all the users through it. Happy to talk with anyone who wants to utilize that with their team and get their entire SDR organization just
All
tracked
right. So
against
I'm
those four
sharing
key
it right now,
metrics
everybody. So just FYI, I've got
in,
it here. He sent it to me in the private chat.
in
So
the private
nobody
chat.
can